Hello YouTube. Today is January the 17th, Thursday, 2019. I'm going to talk about something again that is going to be of a sensitive nature, and it literally disgusts me that I even have to have this conversation in 2019, 18, whatever. It literally... it baffles the mind to think how far away from God this country has gotten. And if what I'm about to talk about is not a prime example of what I have been screaming about, not literally, but been hollering about since I practically made this channel, about America getting away from God, then nothing I've ever done video-wise will ever prove it more than this. We now have children, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, that are dressing in drag because they think they are girls. They think they are homosexuals. Now, you might or might not have heard of a controversial photo that appeared in a left-wing progressive newspaper called the Huffington Post, and it depicted a small child, which I believe was a 9-year-old child dressed in drag, standing next to a grown naked man who also dresses in drag. Now, the man was not in drag but was naked. The child was in drag. How in the world are you not going to tell me that that's not child abuse when you put a child of 9 years old in women's clothing and stand him next to a grown man naked? Are you going to tell me that that is completely, perfectly acceptable and normal? That's disgusting, and that is child abuse. If there's ever a definition of the word child abuse, that is it. The Washington Examiner did a wonderful article, January the 9th. Look it up on the internet. It was from January the 9th, just a few days ago, on this exact subject matter. And they also said that it's not progressive, it's child abuse. And if you get a chance, I recommend looking that article up and giving it a read. I don't particularly read the Washington Examiner. As a matter of fact, I don't read very many newspapers at all because I just don't think they're honest and truthful. But that's nor here nor there. This is the state that we are finding ourselves in, my friends. This is the America that we are finding ourselves in now in 2019, when children of such tender ages, below 10 years old, are claiming to be homosexuals, are claiming to be girls, are claiming to be drag queens, are dressing, and their parents are dressing them. I mean, I'm talking hair, makeup, dresses, whole kit and caboodle. That, my friends, is what you call a nation getting far, far away from God. I mean, so far that there's not even a definition for how far this nation has fallen away from God. This is just one minute example of so many things that are happening in this nation that show that this is no longer a Christian nation. Do we have Christians in this nation? Absolutely. Do we have good God-fearing people in this nation? Absolutely. But do I and many others consider this a straight-up Christian nation anymore? No. No. We have so many different religions now that are put to the forefront in front of Christianity that it ain't even funny. Islam now is put in front of Christianity. I mean, look at how things are in this country. Just open your eyes and look. I'm not talking about some obscure little thing that you might read at the back of some newspaper on the last page that so-and-so did this or that. These are things you're seeing every day. Why isn't the news reporting on this? Why isn't the news reporting on this child being posed with a naked grown man? Why is this not being touted on the evening or the daytime news of any kind? Why? Because they are complicit with this kind of stuff. They are accepting of this type of what they call progressivism. This is, again, not progressive. This is child abuse. Period. And those parents are to be ashamed of themselves. But when you grow up in a godless household and you don't believe in God, and you're not going to tell me those people are Christians, because there's no way that anybody that has accepted Jesus Christ, there's no way that anybody that follows the Bible is going to do that and think that that's completely acceptable in any shape, form, or manner. In any. The Bible talks about Christians, that's what you want to call them, being lukewarm, straddling the fence. God says He's going to spew them from their mouths. So if they consider themselves Christians, come on. I'm not saying these particular parents of this child do, but I am sure there's plenty out there that do accept this as perfectly normal, that say they believe in God. This, my friends, I'm telling you, it is only going to get worse. I did a video maybe a week and a half ago about the Antichrist spirit in the United States, and not only in the United States, but around this world. And I'm telling you, we are seeing it more and more. How does the devil bring down a nation? Think about that for a minute. How does he bring down a nation? Militarily? No. He brings a nation down by poisoning the minds of the youths. He did this in the 1960s. I've said this before. There's always been rebellious when it comes to youths. That's since time immemorial. That's almost like a, rite of passage into adulthood. You have to be a rebellious teenager. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about sneaking out of the house, past your curfews, doing stuff, that most teens do or did or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about generational, where the devil gets a hold of a generation and corrupts a complete generation. He did this starting really in the 1960s with the hippie counterculture, drug. I said this before, the free love, free sex, drugs, the old make love, not war stuff, the rock music. The whole scene really exploded in the 1960s, and then it just went downhill. If you look at what was acceptable at the beginning of that decade, if you look at what was considered normal and what was considered perversion at 1960, and then reel ahead to 1967, 68, completely flipped the script. Completely within 7 or 8 years. And that is how the devil gets a hold and starts to tear down a nation. Now, we go forward some 40, 50 years. Okay, some 4 to 5 decades. We're seeing the same thing with these millennials. The same exact thing. They hate this country. They hate this flag. They hate our anthem. They don't want nothing to do with it. They want socialism. They want communism. They want this ism, that ism. They don't believe in God. They don't even know what they want. They're so warped in their mind and in their thinking. They don't even know what they want half the time. And my friends, that is our future of America. These are going to be your future congressmen, congresswomen, your future senators, state and federal, and sadly, future presidents of the United States. These same ones today that believe in the most perverse abominations God ever put breath in these people. It's amazing what these people do. It's absolutely, utterly amazing. You cannot ever tell me that this stuff is normal when you're seeing what you're seeing today. That's just not Right. I do not agree with these children, and I believe it's abuse. I honest to God, I believe it's abuse, and I think it is. And then you get into the whole abortion thing in the United States. Look at what we're doing since Roe v. Wade was overturned. Look when abortion was made legal. Look at how many babies have been murdered in the United States. Look today at how many babies we murder a week. 3,000 to 4,000 every week in this country. And that's week after week after week. I put a video up a couple days ago of a former abortion doctor. I advise you to scroll back a few videos and watch that. It's only 4-5 minutes long. It's not long at all. Listen to what the man says. All right? And you think about where this nation's going. I go back to the beginning of my video where I say America has completely got so far away from God. It's the truth. It's the truth. Now, of course, if you don't believe in God, then everything's honky-dory. We're good to go. Keep murdering them babies and keep polluting our children's mind with poison. Everything's fine. It's called progressivism. It's called liberalism. Everything's fine. No. No. Take your head out of the sand. It's not fine. It's not. It really, utterly shocks me at what people consider normal today. My friends, I don't come on here to lambaste anybody in particular. I don't come on here and I don't call people names and I don't slander people. You know, God doesn't want us to do that. He wants us to show love and compassion. Yes, that's true. But He also wants us to stand upon the Word of God. What is right, and what is wrong is wrong. There's no gray area. There's no in between. Like I said a bit ago, lukewarm. You're either are or you're not. You're either with God or you're with the world. You cannot straddle the fence. You cannot straddle the fence. Live half for the world and half for God. Remember, I said it earlier, God will spew you from His mouth. You can't do that. And America is just, the Christians are either riding that fence because they're too scared to say something, or they're completely godless people that don't believe in God and are completely acceptable of everything in the world. I mean, what's next? What's next? Is Congress going to pass a rule that it's perfectly legal for a man to marry a horse, a dog, a cat, a chicken, a cow? I mean, is that going to be the next thing? State legislatures going to pass laws that a man or a woman can marry a barnyard animal? I'm not joking. I mean, I know it sounds ludicrous, but look where we've come. Look where we've come. I know this is not my typical video. I realize that. But when I saw that photograph of that child, it just sent it shocked me. It didn't surprise me because this nation's become so perverted, but it shocked me. It really did. And I just thought, you know what? I have to say something about this. If I don't, then I'm complicit with it. If I don't speak up and say that it is wrong in the eyes of the Lord, then I'm complicit with it. And you need to as well, too. If you believe in Jesus, and especially if you've accepted Christ, you need to stand up against this stuff. I don't mean you physically do anything or nothing. I don't ever condone something dumb like that. But you stand up, you pray against this, because this is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. This nation needs prayer. This nation needs God. Take care of yourselves. If you get a chance, go read that Washington Examiner article from January the 9th. I believe it was titled something along the lines of, that it's not progressivism, it's child abuse, talking about these children being dressed up as women. Anyways, take care. Apologize for going off a little bit, but you know what? Sometimes, you just got to take a stand. And I hope each and every one of you take a stand with me. I hope you like this video. I get a lot of dislikes in my videos because I get a lot of haters that come to this channel for some reason and love clicking that dislike button because they don't believe in God. Because you know why? I tell them the truth. I tell them the truth. I tell them that Jesus Christ did die for their sins, that God is real, that he created this earth and everyone in it, and they cannot stand it. So the only way they can do it, since I've disabled the comments because I got my life threatened, they hit the dislike. So I hope you liked it. If you do, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. If you know anybody that likes my videos, then ask them. They can hit the subscribe. That would be wonderful too. Take care. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And as always, God bless you. God bless America. Bye-bye.